What's good, boys? We are back with EPL predictions for match day 8. Let's get started. We have Luton versus Tottenham here first. Luton versus Tottenham. Tottenham has been pretty great this season, I would say. Let's go look at the recent results here to double check. We have Tottenham beating Liverpool 2-1 on that pretty crazy VAR decision. We want to talk about that. That was pretty crazy. If you heard the audio, mixed feelings about that. So Luton here lost to Burnley, beat Everton in their last 2 games. A bit of a tough one to decide here. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Tottenham win here over Luton. Next match, we have Fulham versus Sheffield United. Let's go look at this one here. Fulham at home. Lost to Chelsea recently, but were pretty decent at home before that. Sheffield United here, wow, pretty bad away from home here. 3 losses in a row. I think Fulham kind of get this one done. Let's look at the lines here. The lines show Fulham as -160 favorites. The total is 2.5 here. I almost want to take Fulham, but I have a weird feeling we're going to see a 1-1 draw in Fulham and Sheffield United. For Man United and Brentford, okay, I don't know where to start with Man United. They have been pretty awful, I'd say, relative to expectations, right? Before everybody gets on my case. Relative to expectations, it's fair to say Man United, pretty trash this year. Recently, they lost to Galatasaray. They also lost to Crystal Palace in the Prem, which is a pretty rough result for them. Brentford had a 1-1 result versus Nottingham here. Lost to Arsenal 1-0. Losing to Everton is where Brentford kind of lost my respect a little bit. I don't know how I feel about losing to Everton like that. Recently, when they've played, Man United beat them 1-0, lost 4-0 in Brentford. I really don't see Man United dropping more points here, right? I feel like Eric Ten Hag's job's on the line at this point. So for Man United Brentford, I'm going to go with a 2-1 result to Man United. Burnley versus Chelsea. Let's go take a look at this one here. Chelsea, I think people are thinking that Chelsea maybe found their form again, right? They got a couple wins here, scoring some goals. They beat Fulham away from home, which I think is a pretty decent result for Chelsea, right? I think anybody could see Fulham getting points out of that game. So the fact that Chelsea got a 2-0 result, kept a clean sheet, very good. Burnley at home, yeah, it's been a rough go for Company and the boys. So I think we're going to just take Chelsea here. Let me double check the odds to make sure there's nothing sneaky going on. Yeah, Chelsea, pretty significant favorites away from home, 1.7-ish odds, about a 3-goal expectation here. Let's go with a 2. Let's not get carried away here. I'm just gonna go 2-1 to Chelsea here. Could see some nonsense happening in that match where Burnley gets one, maybe a penalty or something. But I don't want to just say Burnley can't score at home. But I think Chelsea get the 3 points that they need. Everton versus Bournemouth. I just feel like without even getting too crazy with this one, I'm just gonna go 1-1. I don't have any other expectations from this game other than a simple 1-1 result. Everton Bournemouth, won't even go check that one. Crystal Palace versus Nottingham Forest. I cannot see this game going over 3 goals, right? Can't see it going over 3 goals. Let's double check here. 1-1, 1-0, 1-0. So, okay, immediately in the last 2 games at least, I see a 1-1 and a 1-0. My first impressions of this game weren't too off, right? And Nottingham Forest here in their last few results here, 1-1, 2-0, 1-1, 1-0, 1-0. Not a lot of goals being scored in their game. Same with Crystal Palace for the most part, right? 1-0, 3-0, 0-0, 3-1, 3-2. Couple results in the Crystal Palace makes me have to question it. So we'll double check the odds and to make sure we're not missing anything. The odds reflect what I initially thought too, 2.25. I think I'm gonna go with the 1-1 result for this one as well. West Ham versus Newcastle. Now this is an interesting game because Newcastle just played and destroyed PSG. So I almost don't want to get too carried away with that result, right? Because I think the worst thing you can do on these predictions and in predicting any football matches is take too much stock in what just happened recently here. So while we have Newcastle beating PSG 4-1, and they're coming off of 4-1, 2-0, 1-0, 8-0. They've beaten Man City, they've beaten PSG. Things are looking good for Newcastle, but West Ham at home is where it kind of worries me a little bit, right? So Newcastle did beat West Ham 5-1 last time they played, but I still feel like this could be somewhat of a letdown game. What do the books think about that? The books do have it as a 2.1 favorite for Newcastle with a 2.75 pregame total there. So there is a little bit of a worrisome with how Newcastle could drop points this game. I do think I'm going to take a crazy 2-1 West Ham result, which I don't think a lot of people are going to like this, but the reason I'm thinking this is just a letdown game from PSG. West Ham get it done at home. For Wolves and Aston Villa, another game that's very hard on the goals, at least. We're seeing a 2.75 total pregame on the books, but it's really, really, really hard to know how Wolves play at home here. Because Wolves, back and forth results, right? Loss, win, loss, win. So by that metric, it should be a loss, right? If they're going every other. But let's go see how they played recently. 1-0 to Wolves, 1-1 here, 2-1 here, 3-2 here to Wolves. I think Wolves may get a cheapy result. Maybe a 1-0 to Wolves. But, oh, man, that's so disrespectful to Aston Villa, right? Do I want to be that disrespectful to Aston Villa is the main question here. Let's look at it one more time. Aston Villa beat Brighton 6-1, which is a pretty crazy result. If they lost to Everton in the EFL Cup, so we won't put too much stock in that. They beat Chelsea 1-0. I feel like there's not 3 goals in this game. The question I can't decide is 1-1, 2-1, or 1-2. I think I'm going to go 1-2 Villa. I was very close to going Wolves 1-0 win. I think I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. I really hope it doesn't come back to bite me by taking over 2.5 goals there. Brighton versus Liverpool, probably the best match of the weekend in my opinion. Let's go make sure there's nothing about Brighton at home that we need to worry about. Brighton at home, wow, again, every other. Liverpool away has been pretty solid as well. They probably could have got that result against Tottenham, but VAR said otherwise. So we have Brighton beating Liverpool in the cup. Then we have Brighton winning at home, draw, Liverpool, draw. So Brighton's been giving him a hard time, I think, overall here. I think I have a weird 2-2 feeling on this match, between Brighton and Liverpool. I think goals could go crazy, but I think furthermore, I think it's going to be a draw in Brighton and Liverpool here. Hopefully it's a high-scoring draw so I can get a lot of points out of that one. And the last match, Arsenal-Man City. Well, I take back what I just said about Brighton and Liverpool because we have Arsenal-Man City, which is actually the best game on the entire weekend. Arsenal-Man City is a big game here. We have Arsenal coming off a pretty brutal Lens defeat in Champions League. Man City here coming off a good Leipzig win. Came off a really, really weird Wolves loss. I don't know what a lot of people made of that one. I was out of town for that weekend, so I didn't get to watch any of the Premier League last weekend, so I'm not really sure what to make of that 2-1 loss there. I think the facts remain that Man City has not lost to Arsenal in league play in I think it's 10 plus matches, and since 2015 is the last time that Arsenal even beat Man City in the league. So I think for this match, I think I will just go 2-1 to City. Very generic result, but I just want to cover myself on the off chance that City do win and it goes over 2.5. We'll give Arsenal the goal, but I think City eventually get this done here. I mean, until somebody take them down, I'll keep backing City. So that's how I feel about Man City and Arsenal. Just a 2-1 result to Man City there. And that concludes the predictions, boys. Please make sure you subscribe to YouTube and like the video. It supports the channel a lot. And if you want to predict with me on this league, join the link in the description. Add me as a rival, iForenzic. Buy yourself a common ball, and every single league is open to you. Appreciate you, boys.